This is actually our Lab 5, Lab 5 media video. So what we're actually about to do is trying to get the reflexes out of humans and their reactions as well. So what are these reactions and reflexes, if to be said? So people call reflexes and reactions are pretty much almost the same, but they're actually quite different. So for reflexes, they're actually, rather I would say, spinal reflexes. They're usually rapid and involuntary, which actually, what it meant by that is that we actually act out of, let's put to say, out of what we're actually thinking. We do not think what we act. So instead, it just, when it happens, we just act. That's what we call a reflex. But reactions are rather pretty much the opposite. So when we're actually doing something, first in a certain condition where, let's to say, we hear somebody scream, that's where we actually look towards the to the location or the place where the scream or the loud noise take place. That's a reaction, or in other words, things that are voluntarily done. So let's to say heartbeats or reflexes. What we're actually using our eyes to look around, those are reactions.
Of probability in a sample space, suppose all sample points are equally likely. The probability of the ratio of the number of points.
So this will be the material. First of all,
experiment 5.1, in all three situations, the subject jerk her knee up because the subject experienced monosynaptic reflexes. Monosynaptic reflexes is like super fast delivery in your body. Therefore, whether the subject reading or not doing anything or try to hold her leg up, the message still delivered to the brain, thus she jerked her knee up.
As for our next discussion on experiment 5.2, we will be talking about the Achilles tendon jerk. So this is because the Achilles tendon jerk also applies monosynaptic reflex, where when the experimenter knocks the subject's ankle, Achilles tendon, the foot will jerk upwards due to the message being delivered to the brain and acted upon the foot.
For 5.3, which are swallowing, it actually consists of three phases, which are the oral phase, which are voluntary, variangle phase, and esophageal phase, which both are involuntary in those aspects. So so from what we actually get is that from the experiment, the first step that we actually did, just swallowing our saliva by itself without drinking water, it makes it really hard. It's really hard to swallow. Even though how much you actually try, it makes it really hard. While the second one, the second step, after drinking water, we can actually try and swallow as much as we could. So yeah, and by that we can actually conclude that swallowing with extensive water does have that effect.
This experiment successfully measured reaction time to sight using a stopwatch test. The recorded data showed variation among participants influenced by factors such as focus, fatigue, and experience. Participants who were more attentive tend to respond faster, while participants with lack of focus tend to respond way more slower. So, the table also indicates that repeated trials slightly improve performance, suggesting that the reaction time can be enhanced with practice. Overall, the result confirmed that visual reaction time is not instant and is affected by both internal and external factors.
Okay, start.
In experiment 5.5, reaction time to touch, this experiment demonstrated how the body reacts to touch stimuli and how long does it take for a person to respond. The reaction time was measured by comparing the time taken between the experimenter and the subject. The results showed that reaction time can vary between different persons and can improve with practices. Repeating the experiment multiple times and averaging the result help improve the accuracy. Factors such as concentration, anticipation, and environmental distraction can influence reaction time. So, in conclusion, this experiment demonstrated how the body responds to different types of stimuli through reflexes and voluntary responses. The experiment for reactions to sight and touch showed that response time differs depending on the type of stimulus and neural process involved. This swallowing reflex experiment highlights the body's ability to perform involuntary action for survival, while the patella reflex experiment confirms how the nervous system quickly responds to maintain balance and posture. Overall, the experiment reinforced the importance of reflex and reaction time in protecting the body and performing the activities. That's all.